Ladies and gentlemen, bringing to the stage Anthony Smith.
Hello. When I got out of the Navy in '74, I was 21 years old, and I had enrolled in the International Transportation Institute. It was a truck driving school. It was located on Wyoming and Michigan Avenue. And upon completing the course, I applied to several truck driving companies. And after 5 or 6 weeks without being hired, I ran into a guy who told me that the minimum age of a truck driver was 25. Well, in school, they told me it was 21, but nevertheless, I needed a job. So I started applying for any driving job that I can find. So the company that finally hired me was Holmes and Dennings. It was owned by 2 black gentlemen who owned a distribution center, a company. And they had 2 divisions, milk and wine, and I was hired to deliver wine in Detroit to party stores and liquor stores. And when I found out that I would be delivering on the east side, I'm saying, man, this might be kind of dangerous. Because you see, where I'm from, the suburbs of Highland Park, we considered the east side the rough side of town. I mean, the east side of town, you can come up missing, never to be found again. On the east side of town, you can get your ass kicked for nothing. I mean, you just standing around. The guy say, hey, man, what you doing? I ain't doing nothing. Let's kick his ass. You know, the police didn't even want to patrol on the east side. So, the east side was just different, you know. Like on the east side, they barbecue in the front yard. In Highland Park, we barbecue in the backyard. On the east side, on a hot summer night, they would bring their TVs out on the front porch and watch them. You know, in Highland Park, best thing we do is open up the front door, lock the screen, our TVs stayed inside. You know, and the girls on the east side, they were a little faster than the girls in Highland Park. You see, because the girls wore their pants a little tighter, their shorts a little shorter. See, I know because when I was 15, my first girlfriend lived on the east side. You know, so here I am. I got to deliver to stores where 30 or 40 guys are hanging out in front. I said, man, I need some protection. I need to carry a gun. So, I was staying with my mom at the time. My father had just passed 6 months early. It was just me and her. I'm the only child. She was in her 60s. Well, she had a couple of guns, and she let me carry one. So, I bought a little holster. It had a clip on it. I clipped it to the side of my pants. I put on my jacket. I'm ready to go to work. So, I delivered wine about a couple of months with no incidents. You know, I would run into a guy and say, hey, man, you know, I watch your truck for $5. I say, man, you asked for my whole week's check. And anyway, you know, they can have the truck because I can catch the bus home from here. Or I run into a guy and he say, hey, man, why don't you give me a bottle of wine? You know, you can say a case broke on the truck or something. They ain't gonna miss it. I say, man, if I do break a case of wine on the truck, I got to bring back the neck of the broken bottle with the cap still sealed. And anyway, you don't drink Manischewitz. You see, because we didn't deliver the good wine, like Wild Irish Rose, Boone's Farm, Mad Dog, Night Train, you know. We delivered that dinner wine, you know, like 6%, you know. So, one day, I said one day, when I wasn't working, I had to run a few errands. I was using Mom's car. So I grabbed my hat, I put on my coat. I had on one of those long midi coats, come down below your knees. And I grabbed the gun and put it in my pocket. Because you see, after a couple of months of carrying the gun, it just became a habit, like another accessory, like watch, keys, wallet, gun, So I stopped at the bank on Glendale and Woodward, 2 blocks away from my house, my own neighborhood. It was a sunny day. So I withdraw $100 from the bank, and as I'm coming out the bank, I see this guy standing in the bank parking lot. And he's leaning up against the wall, nodding. I say, that's strange. Now, it wasn't strange in the 70s to see somebody nodding, but you usually, because a lot of guys don't have Ron, you usually see them, though, on the bus nodding or, sitting at the bus stop. This guy was standing up nodding. I say, that must be some pretty good stuff, So I go, get in the car, sit down, and as I'm closing the door, this guy comes behind, and he gets between the car door and the body of the car. And I look up, and he has this gun pointed down to my head. And he says, "Give me the keys." So I give him the keys. He says, "Get out the car." So I get out the car. Now me and this guy is standing face to face, and he says, "Give me the money." Now the first thing that comes to my mind is, I got a gun. Now isn't this why I'm carrying a gun, to prevent something like this from happening? And who knows, this guy's gun may not be real. I mean, his gun may not have any bullets in it. I know my gun is real, and I know my gun has bullets in it. And if I can just stall this guy long enough to get to my gun, I'm gonna let this junkie have it. So I'm acting like I'm real scared and real nervous. I'm saying, "Man, don't shoot me, man. Oh, God, please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Oh, please don't shoot me." And I go in my pocket. "Give me the money." "No," I said, "oh, please don't shoot me, man. Be cool, be cool." I go in my pocket. Because you see, every time I go in my pocket, I'm switching my gun around, taking off the safety. So I guess this guy figures, since I keep going in my pocket, that the money's in there. Because he just says, "Well, just give me the coat." I say, "Okay, man, I give you the coat. So I take my left hand, like I'm taking my coat off my left shoulder, and I come out my pocket. Boom, boom, boom. I shoot 3 times. Boom, he shoots. I see the fire coming out his gun. And the first thing I notice, this guy doesn't fall. When you shoot somebody on TV, they fall. This guy doesn't fall. I'm like, "Oh, shit." So he runs to the left. There's some low bushes to my right. I jump behind the bushes. I'm laying on my stomach, da-da-da, like this. And now I'm thinking, these bushes ain't no protection. A bullet can come right through here. So now, people start coming out the bank. I guess they hear the gunshots. So they come out the bank and they say, "What's going on? What's happening?" I'm like, "The guy tried to rob me. He got the keys to the car." And they said, "Well, you want us to call the police?" And I'm like, "I don't want them to call the police because I got this gun on me, Because, see, I got up. When they came out the bank, I got up and I slipped the gun back in my coat pocket. So it was this gentleman, never seen before, this brother. He said, "Man, is there anything I can do for you?" I said, "Man, if you could just take me home so I can get the extra set of keys to the car, it'll be cool. I'm only a couple of blocks away. It'll only take a couple of minutes." He said, "Cool." So he takes me home. I tell him he can go, and I get back up there, best I can. So I break into the house. Mama, I need the other set of keys to the car." She said, "What happened?" I said, "A guy tried to rob me, and I think I shot him. And I seen the fire coming out of his gun." She said, "Well, how many times did you shoot him?" I said, 3. She said, "You dumb fool, the gun holds 7 bullets. You should have emptied the clip." And I'm thinking, oh, man, well, shoot, I want some bullets left, just in case I had to shoot some more, So she said, "Well, did he hit you?" I said, "No, I don't think so, but I feel this pain in my back." And I wonder why I'm feeling this pain, because we were standing face to face, and when I jumped on the ground, I was laying on my stomach. But anyway, she said, take off your coat. So I'm taking off my coat. I look down. I don't see anything at first. And when I get it completely off, it's blood just all down the side of me. I say, oh, God, I've been shot. Oh, God, I've been shot. Oh, help me, Jesus, I've been shot. I just fell out. So she called the ambulance. The ambulance came, take me to the hospital. And doctor examined me. I told him what happened. And he said, you're very lucky, son. The bullet didn't hit no vital organs. And by you guys standing so close, the bullet didn't have enough time to pick up its maximum speed before it entered your body. And see what happened, when I'm shooting at this guy, his bullet goes under my arm, around my rib cage, and lodged in my back. So now the police come. I tell the police, I say, well, I was trying to knock the gun out the guy's hand. And the police say, yeah, that was pretty smart. I bet you won't do that again. So they said, well, we didn't find the guy. Only thing we found was his shoes left in the parking lot. And I told my mother this. She said, yeah, you probably scared him so bad he jumped out his shoes. So I never found out what happened to the guy, But so, after I healed up, I went back to work to Holmes and Dennings, but instead of delivering wine, I started delivering milk. And even though I was delivering to the same stores mostly, I didn't carry the gun. And the only other time that I carried a gun, years later in the 80s, I moved to California, and I worked for a security company, and they issued a gun for me to carry, so. But when that job ended, I never carried a gun again, and I don't own a gun now. And the reason is I think that our thinking guides our life. And I believe that I thought so much back then about being robbed and using that gun that situation manifested. So now I only think about things that I want. Because if you think about things you don't want, that's what you're going to get, more of what you don't want, So now I'm not saying bad things won't happen, if you think all positive and stuff. But when they do happen, if you can get through it and learn from it, I think it'll make you a better person, make you more appreciative, more loving, understanding, more forgiving. So I did, after 26 years after that incident, I did get to drive a big truck. And as a matter of fact, I own a big truck now. And guess which side of town I pick my loads up from? You got it, the east side. Thank you.
Anthony Smith from the suburbs of Highland Park.